Good morning, everybody. How's it going today? It's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, March the 11th, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So let's get started. It seems like we have found some very decent support right now, in my opinion. So we have, let's check out the 24-hour volume first, like we always do on CoinMarketCap. We see that the market cap for the entire crypto market is about $376 billion. Now, for the past few days, according to historical data, it makes us wonder, did all of the longer term holders end up buying around the 8,300 range already? And is that why there's a lack of volume these past 2 days? So that leaves us to wonder, although the candle formations look very decent right now for a solid support being shown. So we see yesterday's volume at $5.4 billion. Today we're at $5.8 billion already. We're still down 2.2%, but there's still some time to go throughout the day, right? So let's take a look at all of these indicators one by one. As I've been drawing it on a non-log scale right here, we see on a non-log scale that with this supporting trend line right here, it's actually puncturing right here, right? We're seeing a lot of these dojis puncturing it, and today so far we actually have a bullish spinning top, which looks fairly decent. In my opinion, I think that we still have some ways to go. If you look at the recent swing low, or the low of this candle right here, actually the open rather, okay? The open was 95.79. If we finish off the week at 95.79, it'll look much more bullish in my opinion than right now in particular. So as it stands right now, this is a fairly bullish engulfing candle, not really the best candle, right? So we don't really want to finish off with this candle in my opinion. We definitely want a much more bullish candle. So let's take a look at all the indicators one by one. On the daily, this could almost be seen as like a tweezer type formation with this supporting trend line that used to be a major resistance. Now we're puncturing it just barely right there, right? Volume is not the best, but of course all the volume, like I mentioned, was on this candle right there. And we're left to ask the question, did all the buyers rush in right here? So if you guys have been following my TA, I recommended a really good buy opportunity where if we broke above 88.50, then we would swing for a possible target of about 9,500. It seems to be a very relevant number right now to be targeting. If we look on the 12-hour candle, it's actually looking incredibly bullish right here. We're getting a series of rejections to downside, rejections, tweezer, with a hammer right here, a bearish engulfing candle, almost like a 3-line strike if there was one more candle, but we're very lucky that we missed that actually. If this, for example, was a green candle, and another fairly green candle with a 3-line strike or bearish engulfing candle, that would have been very nasty. So we were one day close to actually looking very bearish. And I was predicting that we were going to get anywhere between 2 to 5 days of a bear run. And surely enough, we were getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 days almost. So a little bit more than I expected. Now, yes, the recent 12-hour candle, very beautiful hammer candle. Lots of wicks that are poking to the downside, rejecting the slope trend line right here. So I'm looking pretty hopeful right now. I mentioned that we could have gotten a possibility of this scenario. Now you guys need to really understand that just because it's said, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? You have to understand the mentality of being a good trader. What this means is this is where the possible support regions come down. So you guys have to exercise your ability to make sure that you understand where these support regions are, on top of being able to buy into strength if we find solid support, right? A lot of people on Twitter have given me flack and they've said, whoa, it never reached 8,200. Well, guys, I'm not here to babysit you, first of all, okay? I'm here to do a very detailed technical analysis, not handhold anybody whatsoever. So you guys got to make sure you understand, you know how to buy into strength, and you take a look at that. Let's take a look at the RSI as well. The RSI looks like it's definitely ready to cross over with a positive histogram ticking upwards, right? We look at the RSI as well, we are finally getting a series of bullish divergences right here. Looks pretty good. Or will this RSI be actually mistaken for a flag type scenario where this is the inverted flag and then we get one more drop down? Now that's something that needs to be exercised with heavy caution as well. We need to break to a fairly decent RSI, in my opinion. You got to get to the 40-50 RSIs, especially this one right here. Take a look, okay? This RSI range needs to be broken right here. We got this cluster of RSIs that just need to be broken on a 12-hour chart. We got to get above, in my opinion, about 52 RSI on a 12-hour chart, and we'll be looking much more bullish than we are right now. Now let's keep going down the time frame, 6 hours as well. Now we're finally getting a series of bullish divergence right here as well. Finally upticking, guys. Take a look at this right here, okay? We're finally upticking, but don't be fooled. Definitely don't be fooled, because we've seen what happens before where it crosses over very slightly, right? Take a look right here, for example, where it's ticked up very, very slightly. It's around the same level as you can see, and then it just ended up downtrending from the 9,500 range all the way to 6K. So there needs to be extreme caution that needs to be kept in mind. On the 4-hour chart here, we're getting definitely a series of bullish divergences, right? If you look on the histogram, it ticked up, tried to get back to the negative side. Now we're finally going back up again to the positive side. It barely got to the negative side. Here's a series of bullish divergences on the histogram, or sorry, on the RSI. So the way that we try to look for RSI to see if it's bullishly diverging is creating a series of channels like this, right? And as you guys can see, it's creating a series of arches or arcs that start to parabolically move up. Now that's the momentum that we would like to keep having. Alrighty, so here we're getting definitely like a double bottom type formation every time we get to this scenario right here. If you guys remember what I'm talking about, right here, okay? We get this right here. It gets to this support trend line and it just bounces off of it entirely. So it's looking very bullish, in my opinion, right? It's hard to see it bearish right now. We needed this type of correction to make higher highs. Now, altogether, we've actually retraced a very decent amount. We've retraced all the way down to, well, between those 0.5 and the 618 region. Ideally, we would have loved to maybe get down a tiny bit lower, touch the 618 region, but we didn't actually really get there at all. So now, you know, if we look at it from my bullish count of Elliott waves here, I haven't been incorporating Elliott wave too much into my analysis because we got to think of using Elliott wave and other indicators as a tool that we use in different circumstances, right? So sometimes other tools are much better in different circumstances. So it's not something you want to use consistently all the time because sometimes it's very difficult to evaluate how to use it. So what I like to do is employ different methods of technical analysis that might be better in different circumstances, right? So if we're considering this right here as our ABC count, then we actually have a very bullish count where this is the bottom, and this would technically be the beginning of the first wave. So this would be the 5 waves coming down just like this, right? 5 waves coming down. This would be 1, this would be 2, and then we would, you know, get a 3, 4, 5 somewhere up there. This is just an example, okay? This is just an example, so do not even take that whatsoever as an actual target. So, you know, we could get something like a leading first wave diagonal, right? Where this could possibly go for a 1-6-1-8 extension. Who knows? Maybe this will just go for a 1-to-1 extension. We get an overlap, and then we get a leading first wave diagonal, something like here. So these are just some possibilities that I'm outlining for you. And you never know it. Like ideas like this are never too far-fetched, and things like this can absolutely happen. So we're getting a series of even more bullish candles right now that's rejecting to the downside of the 21 EMA. So I'm feeling pretty hopeful right now, right? If you guys, let's go on a very low time frame. In the morning, I actually got up and I was talking about I was actually pretty drowsy in the morning. But I was talking about if it broke right above here, okay, around the 8850 range, that we would definitely try to target roughly 9500, which made entire sense. And I suggested this scenario right here. A long position at about 8850 if we broke it, a stop loss of about 870, and targeting about 9500. And there you go. You get yourself a risk to reward of about 6.1 or 6 to 1, which is the most ideal risk to reward scenario. You have no reason to even consider taking your profit right now because you haven't been stopped out yet, and it looks like it's still on an uptrend right now. So if we actually look at here, it looks like it's about to make one more wave up, right? That's the first wave, that's the second wave, that's the third wave, that's the fourth wave, and most likely we could even get a possible fifth wave up there. So this is why I was definitely recommending this scenario for you guys. So if we look at our Fibonacci here, this did a direct hit to the 161.8 Fibonacci level. So this one could easily make another target all the way up to, I'm guessing, about 9,600 or even a little bit higher, 9,700. As soon as we break this 9,500 range, we need to break it today, guys. I cannot emphasize enough how badly we need to break 9,500 today to look like the weekly candle is much more bullish, right? If we don't break above that, the market's sentiment might be lost. So I think right now the market wants to have a bullish market, right? We want something bullish. We don't want a bearish market. So I think together today in the next 6 hours, 6.5 hours, that's when the candle closes, the market will most likely rally to finish this last and final wave. So let's see what happens, guys. I'm looking hopeful, and of course, right, we know where our support regions are, guys. We know exactly where our support regions are. They're down to, right now, support's definitely raised, right? It's around 8850. That's where the next support region is. And the lower support region is still the 83, 8400 ranges. But we can easily start raising our support. And as you guys can see over here, this region, right? I'm just going to draw some of the arrows here for you. Right there, right? We get this cluster over here as well. That's acting as a resistance, supports. So all of these areas that you see here are acting as major resistances for this 9,500 range. So as soon as we break above it by the end of the day, right? If you take a look at my target right over here, it's literally right around the end of the day where the candle closes around 5, 6 o'clock. So looking pretty good overall, guys. I just want to give you guys a very, very quick update with what's going on with just Bitcoin in general. So yeah, looking awesome. And if you guys remember the Elliott wave rule, where wave 1 territory or wave 2 cannot retrace into the wave 1 territory, right? So if we actually clear all of this out right here, I mean, this could very well be wave 1, right? Wave 1, this could, who knows, wave 2 could be somewhere up there. Wave 3 could be something like that, right? And tomorrow, or Monday rather, for the Monday's candle, that's where we could finally get a downtrend. As long as we finish today fairly bullish, it'll be awesome, right? Then wave 3 could do something like that. Wave 4 and 5 could do something like that. And then we simply just get ourselves a leading first wave diagonal. That would be literally one of the most ideal scenarios that we can come across right now. So other than that, I just want to give you guys a quick 10-15 minute update on Bitcoin and where I stand. I'm looking fairly bullish on it. My bias is definitely bullish for the short term. Make sure you guys are sticking to your stop losses if you entered, right? Right now, if you guys decide to enter a trade, pure FOMO. Pure FOMO if you enter a trade right now, and it's definitely not recommended because there's no really good risk to reward setups. I mean, where would your swing low position be, right? Your swing low position would be the 8800 range, 8850. And where's your next target? We don't really know how high of a target it's going to get to above the 9500 range. So I feel like you snooze, you lose, right? You guys don't take the advice on general entries around the 8850 range, then unfortunately this is what happens. So anyways, I just want to give you guys my 2 cents on what's been going on. I hope you guys are enjoying these regular updates that I'm giving you guys. I hope you guys know that I'm quite reliable when it comes to giving you guys update because I live, I eat, and I breathe crypto. And most importantly, I hope you guys have been staying very cautious. I hope that you've been very profitable as well. If you guys love these videos and the content that I'm producing, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the material on YouTube. I'll be getting a Steemit account sometime down the road as well, so you guys can contribute, you know, by uploading that as well there, where I get a few dollars for every post here and there. If you guys definitely want to contribute to the cryptocurrency piggy bank and let me know I'm doing a great job, you're welcome to donate, but don't ever do anything well beyond your means, okay? Have yourselves a great day and take care. Thank you very much. Bye now.